Aloha mai kako, aloha kumui here. Welcome to the third and final part to the My Favorite Recipe CPT booklet. Okay, so this is the last tutorial and this is all you need to finish the booklet part. Before we start, I've got a piece of life advice for you guys, and it's food related. So my advice for you is when gathering berries, just remember, you have to be picky. My favorite recipe. Okay, so by now in part one, you would have worked on checklist items 1 through 4. In part 2 of the video series, you would have worked on scaling up. Okay, you would have scaled up to make food for a class of 30. And for this last and final part, we are making sure we make a grocery list in terms of the cost to buy ingredients, including, and we need to include tax. Now, guys, I just want to say a warning. I don't think any of us, we definitely do not want you going to the supermarket to actually source and find out these prices. Okay, and I'm going to show you how you can do virtual shopping. You probably know how to do that already, but you can get prices for this activity from the comfort of your own home. We don't want you leaving the house just to find prices. Okay, so I want to make sure you understand that we can get prices just from the comfort of our own home. Okay, so let's figure out this grocery list and the cost. So that will be our last and final section. This is found right here. So from the previous page, we're going to try to find the amount, the quantity we need of any given ingredient to make a recipe for the whole class. So that was from the previous page when you were cooking for 30. Okay, so the amounts, you see my recipe on the left. I needed taro root, and if you're shopping for something specific like taro root, if you can't find that exact item, hey, let's use some substitute that's close enough, okay? And you'll see that in a moment. Now remember, the quantity I needed to make for 30 people was 22.5 cups, okay? And I'm just gonna go down the list. I need, over here, I need fresh coconut grated, so I'm gonna go fresh coconut grated. Fresh grated coconut, and I recall I needed 7.5 cups of that, and I needed coconut water. That's fairly accessible nowadays. Of course, it's not going to taste as good straight from the coconut. Coconut water, and I also needed 7.5 cups from that. I'm on coconut milk now. Ingredient 4, coconut milk. I also needed 7.5 cups of that. And last, I needed brown sugar. And scaling up my recipe for 30, that ended up being, if you recall that number, it was 5.625, which I rounded to 5.6 cups. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the shopping list for items 1, and 2 and 5, okay? And just to show you how I might go about doing some online shopping. So I'm gonna do taro root, 22.5 cups. Taro root, I don't think I found that online, but we're gonna do something close enough, okay? So we're gonna just type in, let's go poi. That will save us time in preparation. We're making kulolo after all, so poi might be good enough. Now, as you can see up in the top, there's a shopping list. You can find pretty much anything online now. Under Google, there's shopping, so let me hit that. Shopping. Oh, there it is right there. There's one up here, and there's one over here, and there's one down there. So, guys, you can buy anything online, and eBay just goes to show they sell everything. Okay, so what if I chose this 1 pound bag? You can make some estimates here. Okay, because you really aren't going to cook for the whole class. We might not have class anymore. So this 1 pound bag, let's say I need one of these bags, let's just say for argument's sake, and that's going to be $25.99. Of course, you can buy local. 25 though, it's going to cost $25.99, and I'll write it right there. Of course, a 1 pound bag of poi at our local supermarket will cost a lot cheaper than that, a lot less than that. Okay, but this is just an exercise. So I can go continue search Google Shopping. Why don't I just do that? Cocoa nut. There it is. Okay, and what is that going to set me back? That's 14 ounces. If I have 7.5 cups, I believe a cup is usually about 8 ounces. So I'm going to have to take 7.5 cups and multiply by 16 to find out how many ounces I need. And then I'm going to divide that by 14 since that's how many bags I will need. So let's just take this. We got a calculator app, hopefully handy. Yes, we do. I needed 7.5 cups. And each cup is 8 ounces. Okay, so 7.5 cups times 8 ounces per cup. I need a total of 60 ounces. Now, if you recall, those bags were 14 ounces each. So I will divide by 14, which tells me I need 4.28 bags. Now, I can't get exactly 4.28 bags. So that means I'm going to have to buy how many bags to feed enough, to make enough for the recipe. That means I'm going to have to make 5. I'm going to have to buy 5 bags of these. Okay, so let's go back here. I needed 5 bags at $1.99 per bag. Okay, as you can see, I'm going to buy that top one. 5 bags at $1.99 per bag from Target. Great. So I go 5 bags times $1.99, $1.99, and that will cost me $9.95. Okay, so I can put that price in there, $9.95. Again, guys, if your prices are in the ballpark, that's really important. If you're a little off in terms of how much of the amount you actually need, that's okay. Because again, we're not cooking for 30. The last item I want us to think about is brown sugar. So I needed 5.6 cups of brown sugar. So let's go to Google. I think this is Google Shopping. Let's just see, brown sugar. Not sure if I'm in the regular search. No, I'm in the shopping. Okay, so that's a 2-pound bag, and so 2 pounds. That's going to be each pound is 16 ounces. That bag is 32 ounces. I'm going to write that down right here for us. 32 ounces per bag because it's a 2-pound bag. Okay, that means each 1 pound. 1 pound is 16 ounces. All right, so I want to know how much of that I need. All right, so I need 5.6 cups. Again, a cup is 8 ounces. Okay, a cup is 8 ounces, so I want to find out how many ounces I need. Okay, first, so 5.6 times 8. Let's go to my handy dandy calculator. 5.6 times 8. That's how many, 44.8. That's how many ounces I need. Okay, and so going back to this, if each bag is 32 ounces and I needed 44.8, you see it in the bottom right corner, I need 44.8. I just need to buy 2 of those bags. Okay, so 2 of those bags are going to cost, that's going to be 2.29 times 2. That's going to be $4.58. Okay. Now, notice I have left out 2 ingredients, but for the sake of this exercise, I will just use these prices that I have here. Okay. So I might have to switch screens, but I'm just going to write all these down now so I can refer to them back later. $25.99 for the taro root, the bag of poi. $9.95 for the fresh grated coconut, and $4.58. Okay, so I'll go to my calculator section, and let's see here. We've got $25.99 plus 9.95 plus 4.58. Just for these 3 items alone, it will total $40.52, and I will write that here. Subtotal. I can minimize this now. My subtotal is, what was that again? $40.52 on the bottom left. That's the record of my calculation. 40.52. 40.52. Now, just to buy these three items, though, in a store, or even online, I can't just pay $4.52 because we have this thing called tax, and the government always needs to collect their due. So tax in Hawaii is 4.5%. We also need to tack on our tax. Okay? So here's what we need to do. There's a couple ways we can talk about 4.5%. Let's just think about 4.5% as a number, first of all. I wrote it down here. This is equal to 4.5. Another way we can write that is per, as in unit rates, 4.5 per cent. And when we say cents, that implies a number of 100. How do we know that? Well, a whole unit is 100%. There are how many cents in a dollar? Yes, there is 100 cents in $1. And how many years are in a century? Yes, again, 100. So this idea of cent, how many centimeters in 1 meter, it always goes back to this number of 100. So we need 4.5 divided by 100. That turns this decimal smaller. So in other words, it walks this decimal point right here. It walks it 2 units. To make this number smaller, we're going to walk it 2 units to the left. Why 2 units? Because there are 2 zeros. So this number, 4.5, you walk this decimal 2 units to the left after dividing by 100. 1, 2, you backfill with a 0. It's equivalent to 0.045. 4.5% as a decimal equivalent is 0.045. Now what do we do with that? We need to take this amount right here, our subtotal, and multiply it, okay, to find the tax. This is just the tax portion alone. You're going to take the subtotal, 40.52, which may be different for yours, and we're going to multiply it by 0.045. Okay, that is how much tax we need to pay. So 40.52 times, and you're going to write this down on a piece of paper, 40.52 times 0.045. Actually, maybe now might be a good time to bring the calculator into the screen. Nice. Okay, so we've got 40.52 times 0.045. And that is how much tax I need to pay. I will round that to the nearest, what do you think, guys? Are we going to round to the 10th, the 100th, or the 1000th? If you said the hundredths, you are correct because that's the nearest cent. Okay, I will need to pay $1.82 in tax. I'm not going to bump that to 183 because the number to the right of the 2 is a 3. It's quite low. It's below 5. So I'm not moving that 2 up. So that's my tax portion. Therefore, my total amount will be $40.52, which was my subtotal. Not my final total, but my subtotal for my ingredients, plus $1.82. Okay? And my total is $42.34. Now, I'm going to show you one more way to get that answer in one step. Okay? So follow along. Here we go. Remember, this was my subtotal, $40.52. Whee! Okay. That's how much, that is 100% of what I need to pay. But in addition, I need to pay extra. You might be saying 100%, well, that's done and dusted. That's all I need to pay. Yes, true, but the government needs their share too. I need to pay extra. So 100% is $40.52. 100% is $40.52. I need to pay tax. So I'm not paying 100%. I need to pay 100% plus 4.5%. 100% plus 4.5%. So in other words, I need to ultimately pay 104.5%. Okay? So what we are going to do here is we're going to try to turn 104.5%, 104.5% into a decimal equivalent. So we are dividing by 100, dividing by 100. That means we're walking this decimal 2 units to the left because we're making it smaller. 1, 2. Notice that number is now 1. I don't know if I can write that low on the screen. 1.045. This is the decimal equivalent. Now what are we going to do with that number? We need 104.5% of, notice the word of, which is multiplication. We need 104.5% of that. Okay? In other words, we need 1.045, which is equivalent to 104.5%, 1.045 of $40.52. Now, let's just pause. I'm going to punch that into the calculator in a moment, but if we multiplied 40.52 times 1, it would be equivalent to 40.52. What we're doing right now is multiplying 40.52 times a number slightly greater than 1. So in the end, our answer, our product, will be slightly higher than $40.52. What that number represents, what it will represent, is the final price we need to pay. Okay? No, mind you, I'm just finding another way, just teaching you a different way to find the total. So on our calculator, we'll do 40.52 times 1.045, and this will give our final price because we are multiplying, we're already including the tax that we need to pay. And notice it's equal to 42.3. I'm going to round that to nearest hundredth, 34. I will not change that 4 because the number to the right of the 4 is a 3, so 42.34. Please note that is exactly the same, and it agrees with our earlier total that we calculated. Okay, guys, let's recap super quickly. Once you find the subtotal, that would be here, you have choices. We need to then calculate the tax, which is 4.5%. 4.5% as a decimal is right here, 0.045. So you have to take the amount, our subtotal, 40.52, times, multiply it by 0.045, which is our tax amount in Hawaii, to get $1.82. That is only the amount you pay in tax, but to find the total, you need to add these two, which is how we got 42.34. An alternative way to find your final amount, your total bill, is to take this $40.52, okay, I carried it over here, and multiply it by 1.045. That includes the tax. That's not only 100% of $40.52, but it's 104.5% of $40.52. We just want to have a bigger amount that includes the tax, and that's how we're going to do that. So we did that here. We took our subtotal, which is $40.52, multiplied it by 1.045 to find the tax, and we've got $42.34, which totally agrees with our earlier answer above. Guys, that will give you an estimate of how much you would theoretically need to spend if you went to the grocery store. But please do not go out and find actual prices by going to the grocery store like we did here. Just look online. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please ask your kumu. Hui ho, and great job, everyone. Mahalo for all your hard work. Bye-bye.